I'm here just to address that today, the time is really now for this bill. In fact, it's long overdue. It's long overdue. Uh, we could have avoided what the battles went through. And so, Sharon, I want to thank you for your powerful, emotional testimony. That's exactly what we need to hear. We need to really address the fact that there are costs to suggestive ID procedures, incredible costs. There are wrongful convictions. There are wrongful detentions. There are lost lives. There are changed lives, as Sharon talked about how her child is not the same person today because of what happened to him when he was stopped, arrested after a show-up identification. When I say that the time is now, it's clear. Over the past several decades, we have learned primarily through rigorous scientific research, social science research, and then also from DNA exonerations that the criminal justice system throughout the United States, that there are serious concerns regarding the potential unreliability of eyewitness identifications. When I say rigorous social science research, that predates when I became a lawyer. Since the 1970s, social scientists have been invested in looking at the fallibility and fragility of eyewitness identification, how memories don't necessarily work the way that we think they work, and that the conditions surrounding eyewitness procedures are the very reason for why mistakes happen. And when I say mistakes, I don't want to minimize what they are. They destroy lives. DNA exonerations have told us that eyewitness identifications have been the primary reason for false convictions that have placed people on death row. There are many different ways to look at this, but if you were to go to the Innocence Project's website, you would see that more than any other cause, eyewitness identifications have led to wrongful death row convictions. And ultimately, DNA exonerated those individuals, thankfully. It is second only to junk science, other junk sciences in the forensic sciences, but eyewitness identifications are the primary pipeline to wrongful convictions. So all of this has revealed that flawed eyewitness identification is a prison pipeline. And this is a prison pipeline that happens after trials. And so that is that it goes to verdict and juries rely upon these bad identifications and identification procedures. And it also is largely responsible for a lot of the coercive plea negotiations that happen. If you're not aware, most cases are resolved by plea. And that is the vast majority. You can look at different numbers, but it is in the neighborhood of 90% of all cases, maybe as high as 95% of all cases are resolved by pleas. And as Sharon mentioned, there was pressure for her son to take a lesser plea, to take a misdemeanor and resolve this case and not risk a felony conviction. But those kind of coercive conditions happen and flow from the problem of that identification procedure. I know that the lawyers will tell them that they need to go ahead because the power of that identification, as Amelia talked about. So it's beyond dispute. Verdicts of guilt rely upon flawed forensic science evidence. And so I support this bill. I think it's a wonderful step, and I do think the time is now for it. So now I'll turn it back over to Pastor Trussell. Thank you.